We're talking about making peace, and there is the ministry of reconciliation, which is how the Apostle Paul in the Bible talks about what the good news of Jesus is in the world today. And I can't think of a better way to explain how the good news of Jesus makes sense in our world that's riddled with conflict outside of us, but also inside of us. Making peace with ourselves is a part of this good news, and it's so essential for us to do in order for us to live peace-filled lives everywhere for everyone. Paul the Apostle writes of this struggle in the Bible in Romans chapter 7. It's a fairly famous chapter because I think everybody can relate to what it's like to be at war with yourself. Paul says, he explains it like this: all the good things that I want to do, I don't do. All the bad things I don't want to do, I do. Anybody ever here have a diet? Anybody here ever try an exercise regime? Anybody here ever try to just do something different with their life or change a pattern? And you understand that war within yourself, trying to deny yourself something that your body wants and your body rages, trying to deny yourself something that your emotion wants and your emotions come alive. And there is this war that happens in ourselves. Paul eventually describes it like this: I'm a prisoner of death. I'm a prisoner of misery. I'm chained to a person, to a body of death. And who will set me free? And sometimes that's where we just end. A lot of people will say, well, that's it. That's the human struggle. We're always going to be at war with ourselves. But that's not where Paul ends, because frankly, that's not good news. Paul ends that there is a person who can free us from the struggle, who can bring what I would call peace or rest to our souls, to ourselves, who will help us come into right relationship with who we are, to understand that we're children, to understand that we're loved, to understand that God acknowledges who we are, not only acknowledges it, but has created who we are from our inmost being. When my son was little, I would put him to bed, and we would have this routine. I would put him in bed, and I would say, Moses, who made you? And my little son Moses would look up at me and he would say with a big smile, God made me. And I would say, he sure did, honey. And how did he make you? And Moses would look back up to me and he would say, he made me good. And I would say to Moses, he sure did, honey. He made you good. He made you fearfully and wonderfully. The scripture says he knit you together while you were in the secret place. He has made you, your personality, your uniqueness, your gifts, even your brokenness. He understands, he acknowledges, and he brings in together to make peace with who you really are. Do you know that you were made good? And do you know that the person who makes you longs to bring you in right relationship with himself, but also with yourself? Do you know that that war that you feel every day on the inside of you can actually be answered with a right relationship with yourself through Jesus, through the power of who Jesus is? This is true, and I really hope that you can discover the power of Jesus to make things right between you and God, yes, but also with yourself. This is what making peace has the power to do in our own lives. I hope you discover that for your own life.